Hello, everyone. So, I'm in a hotel in Cincinnati, Ohio. I never in my life thought I'd be never been here before. So, this is proof I'm in a hotel room, and so I'm about to turn off the light to save phone data in case I need to talk longer than 2 hours because I got a lot to say. I don't know how long. So, I have heavy pressure on my heart and been excuse me. So, um, I don't even know what to start. I have so much to say. I'm still sleep deprived and tired. Sorry if I sound repetitive, but being kicked out, me being wrongfully kicked out of and from everywhere, made me feel unwelcome everywhere, or manipulated where I just can't go back somewhere. That happened with too many places in Pensacola. And so both the online and in-person perps wanted me out of Pensacola and out of the state of Florida so bad. And I don't know why they had an issue with me being in Florida. I'm from New Orleans, which is like 3 states away. So I'm very pissed that I had to be forced to just up and move. And it's not the first time. I've had to do that several times to just up and move somewhere in like an gang stalking emergency kind of thing. So well, the first time I had to do something like that was after Hurricane Katrina in 2006. I kind of was contemplating on it, but I was kind of contemplating on it, but I didn't really have any plan or any avenue or anything like that. But um, when I thought about it back in 2006 after Hurricane Katrina, so I really wanted to go to Los Angeles then and pursue a career in Spanish translation. But the foster mom, Sister Shelley, set up a scenario where the foster boy James, not Joni's brother James, but not the foster sister Joni's brother James, but the foster boy James, because there was two James. So shall I say two Jameses? Yeah, two Jameses. Plural of James. Yeah. So foster boy James, not James Burris, not Joni's brother James Burris, but James Joseph had physically assaulted me. I called the police. The police ain't want to do about it, and they set me up. I went to jail. The foster sister Ellie and I said that it was right. The foster sister Ellie was downstairs. We were upstairs. She was downstairs, and she just overheard the commotion. Me arguing with foster mom, and the boy just meddled in, and used that humiliating violence to punish and control somebody. When he himself has disrespected the foster mom. He was a child and I was an adult. So the foster mom encouraged and allowed the foster kids, to discipline and handle me and treat me a certain way. Until this day, that's why I'm hypersensitive to anybody younger than me trying to order me around and try to discipline and handle me and try to tell me what to do. You know, so and treat me like I'm slow and lack common sense. I hate when people older than me do it too, but it's worse when people younger than me do it. So you know, I was scheduled to. I had a job lined up. I got hired right on the spot to work at my middle school, Gretna Junior High, that I went to, I got hired as a paraprofessional to work there. And it was the assault happened. It was 2 days before me and my twin sister's birthday, and a day before I was supposed to start the job. I was supposed to start the job the day before me and my twin sister's 23rd birthday. So my twin sister, I forgot where she was. She wasn't. If she wasn't, I don't think she was in Virginia yet. I think she was probably living in Shreveport or something like that after Hurricane Katrina. So I don't know when she went to Virginia, but she kind of bounced around a little bit as well. um, I mean, she kind of well, me and her went different ways, and me and her bounced around throughout the years and lived in different cities and states. But I guess she settled for the past few years in Dallas, Texas, or somewhere Dallas Fort Worth metro area. She's been over there for a decade, and so did the biological brother Mark. But yeah, she bounced around from Mississippi to Atlanta, Virginia. Nobody called her crazy, but she was the one who told me. I had at least two or three family members, but she was the first one to say, "Oh, you bounce around from state to state and have no family or friends." No family, no friends, and you out there by yourself. So when the incident happened with the foster boy James, I had to just up and just bounce. And, I had to tell the job, the paraprofessional ESL job at Gretna Junior High, part of New Orleans, Gretna Middle School, I had to tell them that I, couldn't do the job, that I had to go move. So I instantly took a plane and flew to New York. And it was rough out there. It was so hard. And I had to suffer the winter in New York. And so the foster boy, James, didn't go to jail. They protected him because he was a perp. And my twin sister and the foster mom put whatever lies in his head to make him abuse me and hate me. He never liked me, but he used to sit there in front of my face and have friendly conversations with my twin sister and her husband, Dwayne. So my twin sister, I figure it could have been her or the foster mom that put stuff in James' head to make him hate me so much. I never did James anything. So, of course, we all had to just randomly bounce when Hurricane Katrina happened. We were displaced, and being, that had nothing to do with targeting. But hell, I went through gang stalking even then, even with evacuating and didn't realize it. Being bullied and perped and abused at the Astrodome in Houston, Texas. So even my own family perping and abusing me and playing psychological games during Hurricane Katrina evacuation and all that. Derek had me fearing for my life. My youngest brother, Derek, had me fearing for my life. So and people made it like they didn't care or sympathize with my experience, but they cared about everybody else's Hurricane Katrina experience. I was having like PTSD and freaking nightmares and stuff. So I mean, because I mostly lived in New Orleans besides college. I pretty much lived in New Orleans, grew up, other than taking little vacations here and there with the foster family. But I generally lived in New Orleans all my childhood. Born and raised all my childhood in New Orleans. Excuse me. And so then, first time living out of state was in during Hurricane Katrina. So I figured, well, I had family. They didn't want me around, or they only would use me for money. So after Hurricane Katrina, like I had to go by the biological brother Wyatt. I didn't want to, but he threatened me to go there. He manipulated and threatened me to go to Milwaukee, and I, against my will, I didn't want to go to Milwaukee. But he like psychologically and mentally, manipulated and threatened me um, to go to Milwaukee when I was trying to go to Los Angeles then. And so when the incident happened with the foster boy James, almost exactly a year later after Hurricane Katrina, um, then I just random like because I had it in my mind. I wasn't sure if I was gonna move to New Orleans. I'm sorry, move to New York or Los Angeles because I came back from Milwaukee. Um, I think it was sometime early in September. Wyatt had us go to Milwaukee, and Wyatt was using it, taking advantage of me, and try to manipulate other family. The whole family was taking advantage of me at before and during and slightly after Hurricane Katrina. Then like I think it was Christmas Eve or the day after Christmas. It wasn't Christmas Day, but it was Christmas Eve or the day after Christmas. I ended up having to go back to the foster mom because I was displaced and I couldn't live back in my apartment in New Orleans Towers anymore. And in Milwaukee, they were telling me that if I stayed there, then I would have to start all over from scratch. And I didn't have enough Pell Grant and student loan money and all that to do that. So I was left with no other alternative but to go back to my hometown, New Orleans, and then nobody else would have wanted to take me in. It was hardly anybody there. So I had no choice but to go back to the fake foster family. And then I was being perped and abused and all that. And so then, 2006, I had to move to New York. And I started off like with no direction at all, and due to that the foster family emergency with them putting their hands on me. And then I thought about, I was trying to go to either New York or Los Angeles to go to translation school after graduating college. Neither one of those worked out because I tried to rent a room out of these people's house, and they didn't care if I starved. They were money hungry Dominicans, and they didn't care if I starved. They just wanted to collect rent money and didn't care if you ate. And they wouldn't let me use their address for mail or anything. And so then one of the family members has scammed me out of $80, and then sent me to a mental health shelter. And then that's how I was forced into the mental health homeless shelter system. And in New York, they view homelessness alone as a mental illness. I don't know why they feel that way. Whoa. Yeah, so I moved to New York with basically no advanced direction, and the fact that I had to flee that situation so badly that I had to my Hyundai Elantra. I was forced to leave my car behind at the foster mom's house, and the car got repossessed. I mean, in fight or flight situations, it didn't even cross my mind to just take my car with me and then go drive all the way to Los Angeles. I mean, in a emergency situation like that, you can't like think or plan ahead or whatever, so, and dealing with abusive narcissistic setups and gang stalking setups, it seems like you got to just drop everything and flee, just like what happened with Trisha. I had to leave all my belongings behind. So So ended up in a mental health system in New York with the shelters. They wouldn't let me get housing. They wouldn't let me get a job. They wouldn't let me get pregnant or get a husband. They forced trapped me in that homeless shelter, which, come to think of it, that was another form of human trafficking. That they forced me against my will in that mental health homeless shelter, and then put me in transitional housing where one of the roommates kept threatening my life, and the other roommate was just instigating and being messy, and both of them were extremely jealous of me. And then I was very suicidal, and that was the time that ex-boyfriend Alex Mendez, I found out he was cheating on me. So then I ended up, with, I think I attempted suicide. Um, yeah, I attempted suicide there, but there were moments where they just kept on at that homeless shelter in Manhattan. They kept on. It seemed like they were trying to call the mental hospital on me every single day. And then one time, a white lady named Diane Frey, she had set me up and lied on me, and I almost got arrested, but they put me in a mental institution, and they put me in handcuffs. That was the first time they put me in handcuffs, and then put me in a mental institution because she lied on me and set me up. But then she tried that on another person, and another person beat her to a bloody pulp. I can't go back to New York, but I don't know how it is out here. But they had a homeless man, well, a man that I thought was homeless. He may not have been homeless, but he told me that Cincinnati people are really nice. So I don't know. I'll see. So then let's see. The biological family, when they were about to kill me in a mental hospital in Brooklyn, the only way to get out was I had to have some family. I couldn't just go back out of the hospital with nowhere to go. I mean, the biological gay brother Martin, he lured me to Denton, Texas, just so that he can try to control and punish me and take my money and manipulate my mental health. And the biological mom, Frances, was trying to take my money also. Well, I was led to believe she was trying to, but he definitely was using and taking advantage. And wait until I'm in an emotionally and psychological and mentally fragile, broken state of mind to take advantage. That's why they want you medicated so bad, so that they can take advantage of you, and you can't fight back. Mark knew what he was doing. And so in 2007, I tried to get away from him as fast as possible. I would have ended up homeless I ended up being set up and wrongfully arrested. When a person sent me from MySpace, wrote me a bad check because Mark was trying to push me to go back to college, not for my benefit, but because that's easy money for him to take my student loan money back pay. That's all he cared about. So he pushed me to go to college. Go back to school, just so he can steal my try to take my student loan money back pay. I didn't even want to go to University of North Texas as a student, but I was trying to. He pushed me to. I went to take some post-baccalaureate classes because they said that after graduating from UNO, in which my grades were really bad because of family abuse and gang stalking and family narcissistic abuse and gang stalking and Hurricane Katrina and all that together, I was set up to the point where I almost didn't make it to graduating from UNO. My grades were so bad, and I forgot. I went to look at my transcripts in my storage unit a couple of weeks ago, or maybe a month ago, And I nearly fainted because I'm like, damn, I didn't realize my grades were this bad. So I had to take up and stuff Mark was putting, the biological mom, Francis, and all that stuff that the family was putting me through. Um, I was forced to, I couldn't even, I was forced to drop classes. And I think I took a couple of Spanish classes, but the linguistics class I couldn't take. And I even tried to go back in 2010, trying to go back to college, couldn't get a job anywhere all those years in Denton, Texas. And they abused and perped me out of the class while I was forced to drop the class, and was singled out and bullied and abused by the online teacher, college professor, when I tried to ask a question. So that teacher, that professor, I don't remember her name, she was a perp too. Um that so I spent all those years in Denton, Texas, at wits end looking for a job, couldn't get a job nowhere, and try to go back to school, that didn't work, and but I didn't realize all this was due to the targeting. And I spent so many years locked up in my apartment being depressed. But they forced me in that mental health program in New York. I've been talking about that a lot lately. The forced mental health therapy that wasn't really no therapy, and they wouldn't allow me anything. To have a normal life. So I kind of find out, I think that's trafficking. And so then after being forced homeless because they were raising my rent and not raising the our incomes, that led me to be forced homeless. Then I got raped, and I couldn't stay by Mark because he was abusive again. And after being raped, I ended up in a domestic violence shelter, and then I just bounced to Los Angeles, and ended up in a homeless shelter system there. And then it got wrongfully banned from separation, torture mission, union rescue mission. And then they put me in these mental health programs, and then I eventually got my Section 8 through the mental health program. And then because that was it was 2010 when I slowly started to hear about the Illuminati and New World Order. Then in 2011, I started really doing my research, and then I broke away from mental health. It was late. It was after one of my suicide attempts in 2010 when I found out that I truly was a member of a cult, that fake IDMR cult, and I got out the cult. So I stayed in Los Angeles and wanted to settle down and stay there. I wanted to live in Los Angeles forever and didn't want to go nowhere else. And then Lisa Ruby lured me to where she was in South Carolina, and manipulated me to break my lease just so she can do this fake deliverance ministry program. And she was using the Bible to manipulate and control me and stuff like that. And I got the hell on away from her, and ended up homeless on the streets in Greenville, South Carolina, because she was in Traveler's Rest. And so then I ended up in the shelters. Then my Section 8 went through, and I finally got my own place. I stayed there for a year. Their gang stalked me really bad over there too. And I got out as soon as my lease was up. I went back to my hometown, New Orleans. Felt like I didn't want to leave, and I wanted to die at home in my hometown, New Orleans. I felt, whenever I would get older and die, So I felt like I wanted to live back at my hometown, New Orleans, and didn't want to go anywhere else. But then they perked me out of my apartment. Then I moved somewhere else. They perked me out of that house too, and I've been there not even a month. I've been there exactly a month, and then I became homeless since July 31st, 2018. the cab driving job didn't work out, and so then I tried the Grand Canyon job, I tried the zoo job, I tried this job, that job. They workplace mobbed me off every job, and I've been chronically homeless or have not had permanent housing since July 31st, 2018. And I never thought I would end up living this nightmare. So I was supposed to have been homeless in 2017. That the direct energy weapon attacks and the neighbors and all that was unbearable. So, well, I mean, I up and bounced for an opportunity to go to work at the Grand Canyon. That didn't work out, so I bounced and went to back to Los Angeles. That didn't work out, so I went back to my hometown, New Orleans. But they tried to trap me in Los Angeles. After all my stuff got stolen, I never wanted anything to do with Los Angeles again. I never want to set foot back on the West Coast ever. And so I don't know, maybe. I don't know. But never, I don't think I want to go back to LA metro area again. So then afterwards, let's see. Yeah, so I went back to my hometown, New Orleans, and stayed there. And then I was homeless on the streets. Family didn't want me living with them. They didn't want me around me being homeless. And they didn't care if I would get shot and killed out on the streets, And so, I mean, even what happened with my cousin Blake, he got shot and killed right outside of the porch of their house. My Aunt Yvonne and my cousin Blake and all them. Blake, they said he was drinking a beer or something like that, and he got robbed, they shot and killed. And Ramona is the only one who said that they shot and killed Blake but didn't take his money. I mean, that they robbed him and shot him and killed him but didn't take his money. And then Ramona was bragging and laughing. She was bragging about how much money he had in his pocket and bragging about taking his money. When your cousin just lost his life and that's what you did, you think the family resented and hated her? Hell no. But if I would have done something like that, they would have put me 6 foot under. But I don't even think of to do something like that. And Ramona, she take other people's money and go gamble it up in 5 minutes. It could be $3,000. Like, damn, how you just got on the slot machines and all the money's gone that quick. It seems like as if she gambles just to lose. And she's mentally off, slow, and retarded. I never did like gambling. So then I kind of thought about, like, because I didn't know, like, when I left Los Angeles, I didn't want to go to Greenville, South Carolina ever. But I liked only a few little experiences, but it was like Denton, Texas, but it was like very dry, boring, and depressed. Dry, boring, and depressing. And then it was cold. So I left after New Orleans after 2019, after they wrongfully banned me from all these places, and I was outspoken about my targeting. I started to research more about my targeting and was outspoken about it. And 18 days later, they wrongfully banned me, from the university that I graduated from. And I was homeless with nowhere to go and wrongfully kicked out of and banned from the casino, almost every place on Canal Street, just like almost every place on Palafox Street, which they want to try to be a copycat wannabe version of Canal Street. Palafox Street in Pensacola. And Seville Quarter, that street is like a copycat wannabe version of Bourbon Street, except it ain't as, it's not as sleazy, or so I'm disappointed that I never got to the opportunity to experience what it's like to have permanent housing and live in Pensacola while being housed. And I felt like I'm sick and tired of bouncing around from hotel to the streets, this hotel, that hotel, then the streets, and this and that. Or tired of living on the streets, tired of getting wrongfully kicked out of and banned from everywhere. But they would have mobbed and bullied me out of my apartment or whatever. So I told y'all I've been on a housing list since May 2019. I came there April 30th. So I couldn't even get to experience what it's like to have permanent housing in Pensacola. But I've been on that housing list and I'm still on it. So when I've been kicked out of, banned from, or made to feel unwelcome from enough places to where there's nowhere else to go. So I'm like, y'all got y'all wish? Fine. You wrongfully banned and kicked me out of Pensacola. I didn't want to leave because I was trying to stay as long as possible. So the moment I try to leave now everybody's saying I should have stayed. But I had no place really to go, being homeless. And in Pensacola, they have all those covert races that, that they sneak behind my back and snitch and tattle on everything I do. So the shower and swimming pool incident, that was the last straw. So I'm like, y'all don't want me here, then I felt bad to be forced to just make a snap, sudden decision to I didn't know where I was gonna go. At first I didn't want to, because remember I kept telling y'all I did not want to leave the Gulf Coast area. That's why I wanted to be. But considering Hurricane Ian, and I heard how bad Hurricane Ian damaged everything. That's why I felt like I don't know if I would have been wasting my time to try to go further south of Florida. But I didn't want to go on the east part of Florida, like by Jacksonville and stuff like that. But I didn't want to go to Miami because I know they're rude and they're not nice, and it's not quiet in Miami. And so yeah, I mean, I wish I would have gone to a different area of Florida, but yeah, they had Hurricane Ian and stuff like that. So then, I didn't want to go back on the West Coast. I didn't want to go up north, but it's like, as I put in the community post, I said, well, damn, lately people act like as if they don't want me to live in warm weather. Like they want to force me to be punished in cold weather. And now they won't allow me to have warm showers and baths. It's like, why they want to, I hate cold, hypersensitive to cold temperatures. Why the abusive, narcissistic gang stalkers want to force me to be cold? So I'm very pissed. I didn't want to leave and come here. But at first I thought about going to Arkansas, but I felt kind of scared for some reason. But then I just looked at 50 states on a map, and just randomly out of nowhere, just picked. Okay, well, fine, I'll pick Ohio. I'm like, well, fine, I'll just pick Cincinnati and see where I'll go. But I'm demonstrating and showing y'all numerous events in my life where I had to just up and bounce to an unfamiliar area, and then learn to, and without family or friends, and do it all by myself, and had to learn to adjust. And in New York, these fuckers try to falsely diagnose me with a mental health condition called, oh, you have adjustment disorder. It was a young Asian female that tried to falsely diagnose me with a fictitious mental disorder, talking about I have adjustment disorder. So I mean, I'm like, damn, y'all just putting all kinds of man-made false labels on me, huh? So let's see. So the lady at this place that I was eating at, I'm not gonna say the name, but she was one of the managers at this place I was eating at. And last year, and back in 2019, I tried to get a job to work there. And the manager, she acted like she didn't, like last year, they said that she was telling me that they need somebody to work 6 a.m. to like 2 or 3 p.m. that they needed an early morning person really bad. And so I said, well, I'm willing to do so, I'm willing to do the job or whatever. And so then she made it like as if she hesitated to want to hire me, because she said that she, wanted to make sure somebody had reliable transportation to get there and stuff like that, So I told her I was willing to, I volunteered. I said, I'm willing to do, to work the cashier and, the job position. I even had the interview, and the other manager, he gave me the interview, but then refused to hire me, and then just went AWOL on me. And I would see him almost every day, but he never updated me or told me the status or anything. And I don't even think I got a rejection letter. But I could tell he walked around with a certain opinion about me, like as if he thought I was crazy or something. And y'all do this to your own black people. So the lady that was the manager that refused to hire me for that 6 a.m. job position, that she was basically telling me that they were hurting for people really bad. So when I tried to get the job, and the guy did the interview, and then they ended up not hiring me. So this past Friday morning, she tried to lecture me like as if I'm just lazy and don't want to work. But then she said, oh yeah, you had plenty of jobs. I'm like, I didn't have all that many jobs. She was like, oh yeah, you did. You had a whole bunch of jobs. But she was trying to lecture me, telling me, well, oh, you gotta work like everybody else and this and that, whatever, or like you don't get it. And people be like, well, you gotta work no matter whether you like the job or not. You got bills to pay, you gotta do this. And I'm like, y'all must, if y'all never been y'all don't know what it's like to experience being workplace mobbed. So I guess that's the smear campaign, the narcissistic smear campaign, false narrative, that if you bully somebody off the job and then lie and say that they're lazy and don't want to work. No, it's not that we're lazy and don't want to work. We don't want to work being abused and exploited and taken advantage of. So, and we don't want to be gang stalked. Excuse me. So, how you refuse to hire me for a job and then lecture me and trying to insinuate that I'm lazy and don't want to work? And so the lady also was trying to make it like it's pointless for me to leave Pensacola. And they're like, oh, because then you're going to have to start all over again and you're going to have to do this. And like, you're familiar with Pensacola, so you should have stayed here. And I'm like, oh, now everybody wanted me out of Pensacola. So now that I'm give y'all wish. Now, now y'all wait till after I'm leaving or after I book my ticket and stuff or to decide to tell me, oh, well, you're making a wrong decision by leaving. But if I could have gotten a good enough paying job, I would not have to worry about fucking shelters or nothing, which they didn't really have anything for single women. Excuse me. And so then, that bus driver, I encountered her Friday, on my way to the Greyhound bus station, because my original plan was I was gonna go back to the one of the extended stay hotels, and I was planning to think things through and clear my mind. But that bus driver made it like as if she was hunting for an opportunity or a loophole to try to capture me and try to get me locked up in a mental institution. So she waited until her passenger friend narcissistically lectured me and falsely accused me of wanting to be outside in cold weather. Talking about, they got shelters. They got shelters. And y'all, it's like, why do y'all think y'all own my life? You just a passenger, and that's a bus driver. I don't even know y'all that well. So after that passenger, who was her friend, manipulated and falsely accused me of wanting to be out there in cold weather, and I said, well, you are you mad at me? I mean, because she treated me like as if I deserve to be punished, and like as if I get this, that I disgust her. Now I deserve to be punished, and like I get on her last nerve. So at first they both love bomb me and act like they love me, like they like me so much, and then that after that lady, the passenger said that she saw me at Golden Corral, then all of a sudden she flipped and started to act different, and so she treated me like I deserved to be punished, and falsely accused me of wanting to be out there in the cold weather, and say they got shelters, they got shelters. I'm like, you don't even know, because they don't even have much of nothing for single women. And these are people who think shelters are good, just like they think taking pills in psychiatry is good, and they never experienced it. How are you going to call something good that you never experienced or lived through? So then she got an attitude saying, I didn't say you wanted to be out there on the streets in the cold. Yes, you did. So then the bus driver acted like a flying monkey, and then she started to, trying to get personal information out of me and start asking me nosy questions all the time and getting all in my business. And then, I stayed in that one of the other extended stay hotels for a while, and then when the new year came, the bus driver started acting different. And that she changed her opinion about me just because I didn't get just because I didn't get antibiotic prescriptions filled. So then she thinks that everything about me is mental and crazy. That's the bus driver that tried to tell me that I'm not mentally ill. I'm sorry, that I'm not disabled, but that she think I'm crazy and mentally ill, but that I'm not disabled. And then she falsely accused me of cheating the Social Security system like the online perps do. And then she tried to frighten and scare me. And then she falsely accused me of, then she tried to say, you need a social worker. No, I don't. Yeah, you do. She's like, yeah, you do. Like, she tried to overtalk me. And so I was mad and didn't want to ride. I didn't ride the bus with her. I tried to avoid riding the bus with her for a long time. And so then that day when she tried to pick an argument with me, and try to tell me that she think I need a social worker. Earlier that day I got sexually assaulted, and then I had some other stuff happen. And then later on that night, January 5th, was that noise campaign. And then downtown Pensacola, then it happened, the noise campaign happened again. So on the 7th. And so then, they terrorized and harassed and perked me away from downtown and ultimately perked me out of Pensacola altogether. So I don't know why everybody kept on forcing me away from the South and want to force me to live everywhere opposite of where I wanted to live at. If it weren't for Hurricane Ian and all that, I would have probably gone. I wasn't sure how badly damaged everything was. But in 2019, everybody frowned upon me for coming here to Pensacola because they're like, well, we don't have room for you here, and this already overpopulated. We don't have room for you here, and there's no housing, and we don't have housing ever since Hurricane Michael in 2018, which I didn't know about that. So Panama City, I heard it was still damaged from Hurricane Michael in 2000. And then we had 2018, and then we had Hurricane Sally in 2020. And Hurricane Ida in 2021. And dang, what hurricane was that in 2022? Oh, Hurricane Ian. Yeah, I had to deal with her on the streets, dealing with Hurricane Ida and Hurricane Ian. But all we got was wind for Hurricane Ian. But I was crying out for help with a hotel room. Nobody really wanted to help. It was so scary, very scary. And I suffered in the rain and wind and flooding for Hurricane Ida. Nobody gave any shit. So, so I left with just my backpack and the 3 layers of clothes on my back, and my hoodie and jacket and shoes and stuff. I took my stuff out of the locker from where I swim and shower, and I had to take an Uber because that bag was too heavy to carry to take it to my storage unit. And some of those clothes still did not dry, so from the clothes that they set up to when I was at the extended stay, and they wouldn't even let, the perps, they fiddled with my clothes, and where my clothes didn't even get dry. So I had to walk around with wet, mildew clothes. So I didn't even get to dry those. Like in an emergency situation, I had to just put all my stuff in the storage unit and then just leave, and with no direction or anywhere to go. So when I encountered the bus driver on Friday afternoon, I wasn't about to go to the Greyhound station right away. I was just trying to ask her if that place is still operating. She couldn't give me a straight answer. So I was going to go stay in an extended stay hotel for a day or two and think things through. But when she started to get like aggressive and narcissistically demanding an answer for my personal business, and think she has a right and entitled to know where I'm going, she treated me like how the foster sister Shelley treated me. And then, just like in 2006, after the incident where Shirley lied on me and said that I hit the foster boy James first. And so then Shirley pretended to be fake concerned once I just bounced and moved to New York. And pretended to be fake concerned for my safety. And then try to make like I'm really, really crazy for leaving and moving away from an abusive situation. So the bus driver tried to narcissistically demand an answer for where I'm going out of town. At that time, I really have not decided yet. I said, I haven't decided yet. I don't know. And she kept demanding and aggressively demanding an answer. And then she tried to make like I'm really, really crazy or not thinking logically. She got very abusive and manipulative. And so that is part of what took the cake for me to okay, I'll just choose something quick and just get the fuck out of here, because that lady was trying to get me locked up in a mental institution. Like that's none of her business. She pretended to love bomb me and pretend like she missed me so much and ain't seen me in a while. Oh, hey, Shangel, like we fucking still friends. Bitch, after you told me, you showed me what you think about me, making like I'm crazy and need a social worker. Now I'm not disabled, but I'm crazy. So when I told her about my hypersensitive ear condition during that conversation on January 5th, she tried to talk about that my hypersensitive ear condition, my ear condition is all mental. I said, no, it's not. It's physical. She's like, well, it can turn mental. I'm like, bitch, you don't know what the fuck you talking about. And she likes to play ignorant. Play ignorant as a way of playing psych games. So she manipulated me to feel comfortable that I can talk about, tell her about gang stalking and the cult and everything. And I thought that she made it like as if she understood what I was going through and told me, oh, stay in your Bible and pray or whatever. So I don't even know if it's possible that she got compromised over the holidays. Because she was totally different. Like, what the fuck happened to you? You led me on to think that you were a good friend, or started to be a good friend and cared about me and wanted to look out for me. And she started to get really, really scary. So I had to really get away from her. And, they didn't want me. And she tried to make it like as if I'm crazy for leaving Pensacola. Even if I, so it's like, even if I did know where I'm going and just didn't want to tell her, and if I would have lied and said, well, no, I don't know where I'm going. Like trying to avoid giving an abusive, narcissistic perp, trying to avoid giving them information, So, she was trying to get it out of me, trying to demand an answer. I'm like, you don't have this authority. You're just a bus driver. So, I don't know you that well, And she narcissistically demanded an answer. She wanted access to my TikTok account. I'm glad she never I try to make my handwriting as illegible as possible on purpose, because I didn't want people like her with my phone number or social media or nothing like that, So, and this is a black lady too, and that the passenger that did what she did, she's black also. So, but both of them act like they're mentally off, slow, and retarded, or ain't mentally got it all. And that bus driver, she like to say publicly humiliating stuff towards me in front of other passengers. At first she was looking out for me, and I'm like, what happened to you over the holidays? And then she started to get, because we just used to have like casual conversations, but then now she thinks she can treat me like a total puppet on a string and treat me like I lack common sense, and like she got high authority over me and stuff. And so, she seemed like she was aggressively trying to look for a loophole or opportunity to try to get me locked up in a mental institution. So that's what the online perps say. They'll make it like as if I'm childlike, retarded, and crazy, but they'll say Candy's not disabled. She's able-bodied. One moment y'all think I'm crazy and out of my mind, then the next moment y'all make it like as if I'm this slick scammer who knows what the fuck I'm doing. That I know how to, and I never, like my family and everybody else, they would have never, they would have never known of me to be somebody. Like people who knew me throughout the years in person, they would have never known me to be the type to. Only people on the internet that don't know anything about you and just make false assumptions and draw false conclusions, and they're narcissistic abusers who think they know it all. Just like if you see me with a cell phone and you think you have the answers to all my life, because if you think I'm full of shit because I'm homeless with the cell phone. Oh, well, how do you have internet service? So, how are you homeless with over 1,000 subscribers on YouTube? Well, over 1,000 subscribers, I'll say that over 1,000 of them are abusive gang stalkers, while the other like probably 100 something is supporters, or most of them don't even comment anyway. They don't even really watch my videos like that. But I'll say I have like about 10 or 15 people that are supportive, but when I get supportive comments, the gang stalkers, they see that and they delete the comments. And then some people think it's me. Like one person had made a supportive comment and I responded back and hearted and liked their comment, and I had no idea that the gang stalker censored that person's comment, and then the person cursed me out, and so I got mad and blocked them. That person thought it was me. So I was here is not a place to be homeless out on the streets in the cold. And I feel my heart goes out to people who do have to suffer out in the streets in the cold. So, yeah, I had to deal with that. But I mean, when I was gonna take a day or two to think things out, but when she started to get aggressive, then I just went to the and it seemed like as if if the conversation would have gone long enough, I'm afraid that she would have held me hostage and had them come get me quick help with the being locked up in a mental institution. So then I had some perp activity. They perped me. Other than Atlanta, I mean, at the Atlanta Greyhound station, they were rude to me at the front counter. But then I got no gang stalking activity. It was beautiful. Then once I hit Tennessee, being gang stalked. So I wasn't being gang stalked really at all in Georgia. Like I thought, this is gorgeous, this is beautiful. No gang stalking activity. And then when I got to Tennessee, perping activity in Chattanooga, Nashville, and St. Louis. I'm sorry, no. Louisville, Kentucky, and then they had gang stalkers near almost every Greyhound station that we took breaks at. Well, the big major ones like Chattanooga, Nashville, Louisville, Kentucky, and here in Cincinnati. And I'm like, this is a damn shame, And then when I got off the final bus, I had gang stalkers with the one headlight, strange headlights. And they caught me off guard because I'm looking down at my phone trying to figure out what hotel to stay in and stuff. And I was days of sleep deprived, days of sleep deprived, tired. I needed rest. I need rest. So I didn't need any chaos. I needed just some rest to I guess I'll do it here then, have a day or two of hotel and try to think things through. and trying to figure stuff out and learn the area. And I don't even know if I'll stay here, but I guess I got no choice because I don't have that much money now. So fuck y'all fake asses in Pensacola who mobbed me out of there. I mean, that's like an extra $500 or so that I could have had. I don't know. I'm just randomly estimating, but I paid my storage bill plus my phone bill, and I wasn't even sure if I was gonna leave Pensacola. But getting kicked out of here, getting banned from there, getting falsely accused of doing this as a way to for me to feel cornered, to be forced to leave and stuff. That they just scapegoating me and stuff like that. Just like when in my hometown, New Orleans, I was randomly falsely accused of stealing toilet paper out of the Treme Center. And I'm like, why would I do that? I get a Social Security check. Why would I steal? They falsely accused me of being a pedophile and a thief and stuff. And then they falsely accused me of stealing out of the stores. And they falsely accused me of stealing out of the stores in the Riverwalk Mall in my hometown, New Orleans. And I never stole out of the stores. I mean, being an adult, I haven't. So excuse me. So I mean, all these years, I never stole out of the stores or anything. So so it's like, yeah, I mean, it seemed like they make up these satanic sellout Freemasons, perps. They make up lies for an excuse to get rid of you. So I mean, I couldn't even take a normal shower without being harassed, and then they harassed me out of there. And at the Treme Center, they falsely accused. They sent that biracial looking guy to bully and abuse me, and that was a street theater set up for me to not go there anymore. So I was wrongfully banned from there and couldn't take showers there anymore. And they had homeless women who would go there and just to take a shower. But the guy told me I had to be swimming, that I couldn't just go to take a shower because they thought I was a pedo. And the same thing happened on Pensacola State College campus, that I was forced to enroll in that course and take that swim class and wasn't allowed to shower. I had a limited time that I could shower and swim, while everybody else can leave when they want it and stuff. That lady, I think her name was Kay Miller. And she didn't even know shit about me, but falsely accused me of being a pedo just because I'm homeless. I'm a woman. What I don't understand. So then, I mean, I had so much stuff going on. I'm too tired to even talk about what happened on the journey, on the bus trip, and everything like that. But I guess I was telling y'all bits and pieces as I went along. But some of the videos that I uploaded were way from Friday, because I had a few little videos here and there that the smaller videos I used my phone data to upload, but try to not use that much. And then videos way from Friday, I just uploaded them today. So they're already gang stalking me here in Cincinnati with the strange headlights, before I even told y'all. Before I told YouTube, hey y'all, I'm in Cincinnati. So as I said, they didn't want me in any warm climates or any they didn't want me in any warm climate or take warm showers or anything. As I said, the downtown Pensacola YMCA, when I try to take hot showers, they would manipulate the showers. So here I'm forced against my will to have to live in cold climate. I didn't want to come here. And then earlier I was so tired and agitated and miserable. Um, and so I don't. I mean, I didn't know that the buses run. They do run on Sunday here in Cincinnati, and I had missed the transit bus. I missed it, so I didn't have much of any direction. But I've been through this before a few times. Being homeless on the streets in an unfamiliar area. Yeah, first time that happened, Greenville, South Carolina. To be homeless on the streets in an unfamiliar area. But when I was in Los Angeles, I was stayed in the shelters, and they charge money and take all your money, and you pay to live in prison. So they take your money. They wait till after you pay to take your money and mob you out of there, and then you can't get your money back. So that's a doggone scam. They're scamming me. So people wonder if homeless people pay $500 or $600 a month or more to stay in a homeless shelter, and they have nonprofit or whatever. Where is our money going? I heard that the shelter workers are lining their own pockets with our money, plus the charity money, the charity donations. And for all that money that they're getting, they still give us old food and expect us to be grateful and thankful to God. And people don't question what's going on. So it's like the bus ticket to get over here was $247.99. I was so used to just taking Greyhound. I'm not eligible to rent a car, and plus too sleep deprived to be driving. Even though I'm capable, but I'm too sleep. I'm too sleep deprived and didn't have enough money to rent a car anyway. And me being homeless, I'm not eligible to rent a car because they want you with a permanent address. So I don't have enough money to be, bouncing around from city and city and state to state like Professor Target individuals say. Keep it moving. Well, I don't have enough money or support to be, bouncing around. So look like I gotta stay here, and I don't know. It seems like it's easy access to Kentucky and um and few other cities. So but some people say they got a lot of resources out here, and tomorrow is Monday. I guess I'll try to call up some places and see what I can do. I mean, I'm not gonna say where, but I looked online and try to see about places to stay or job opportunities and stuff. Even though I said I got frustrated with employment, but I don't know. I'm sitting here trying to survive, but this ain't the place to be out on the streets. Even though it looked like as if they just had leftover snow. And so it wasn't like the whole bus ride from Pensacola to over here, there was no rain or snow at all. So I come here, the temperature was kind of the same as Pensacola, like 37 degrees or 41 degrees or something like that. But yeah, as I said, I'm gonna miss the but it get colder. It get like 20, 17 degrees and stuff. So I'm gonna try to see what I can do. I'm terrified of the shelters. I really am. And then they mob me out of the shelters usually. But I'm scared to go to the shelters, and the shelters operate like cults, and they take all your money. So I didn't get to eat anything really healthy on a bus trip. You know, the most solid thing I had last night, I ended up getting a burger and fries, and the majority of my drink fell. I mean, it spilled on the floor on a bus. And so the first bus stop when we left Pensacola, and I showed y'all the video about the homeless perp standing all close on me. You know, he tried to tell me, you better, he told me in the most disrespectful tone and abusive tone of voice, you better worry about what's in front of you instead of worry about what's behind you. And I'm like, but you all up on me. You know, step back. I don't need you rolling on my ass. You know, you don't even know when you be standing all close up on me. And this is why I end up getting into arguments with people at soup kitchens and stuff. Soup kitchens and shelters. I don't like people getting close to me. I don't like them touching me. You know, and so it was kind of traumatic for me to get into an argument with him, and then have to face dealing with shelters and being bullied and abused in shelter and ganged up on. So I put him on film, and he's trying to duck and try to hide himself. So what's this thing with homeless, dirty men that want to stand too close on me? I've been freaking raped and traumatized, and they make it like they don't have any respect. They get extremely aggressive and abusive when, you know, I'm explaining that I'm traumatized and have OCD and can't have nobody standing too close to me. But they want to have the narcissistic fake license to put their fucking dirty hands on me and get close to me. So I was so agitated. I got off the bus. I felt afraid that I was gonna die or not survive, and so I got in a. I mean, since I missed the other bus and it was too cold to be standing out there, so I took an Uber to this hotel, and the Uber driver was a nosy narcissistic abuser who, you know, treated me like I was retarded, slow, and crazy, and asked. It was a white lady. But that bus driver, she was a black lady, and that passenger, they were black folks, you know. But this was a white lady who, you know, tried to act narcissistic and controlling, and asked me so many nosy questions, demand an answer for my personal business, and, you know, wanting to know all about my personal life. I'm like, come on, man, it's just a doggone Uber ride. I'm too tired. I'm sleep deprived, cranky. Why are you know, asking me so many nosy questions, you know? But but at least she had the heart to reimburse me of half the Uber fare. You know, at least she did that. But, you know, it seemed like as if she tried to make it like I was stupid for picking this place to go to. You know, why didn't I'm like, this is my first time. I don't know anything about this place. So I'm like, I need some time to adjust. I'm like, don't be so judgmental. So she tried to make it like, well, you're the one who decided to come way over here. Like, she's like, it would have been better if you would have gone over here. I'm like, well, I don't know. I mean, I just got in town. And she's already psychologically, mentally, and verbally abusing me and demanding the answer for my personal business. And it's like she's doing Uber driving here in Cincinnati when she says she lives in Kentucky. And she got a Kentucky license plate too. I'm like, well, why aren't you Uber driving in Kentucky? Why are you Uber driving here in Cincinnati? So I guess they can go where they want, I guess. So when I got here, um they just had the pastries at the front, and I had some oh, yesterday I had a burger, fries, and a big banana nut muffin. And then in the middle of the night I had some Powerade. I'm like, I know that's too much sweet, but I'm sitting here traveling. So then this morning I had, what did I have this morning? I had some a muffin and a small little, what do they call that, coffee cake? Tiny little coffee cake. And then also the last chocolate muffin. And I had like two little small things of apple juice. And then I got up to my room. Like, the guy was going to make me wait out until 3 o'clock in the morning. 3 o'clock in the afternoon to check in. I was so sleep deprived and tired that I begged him to let me, I said, I don't care how much, so he charged me $80 for an early check-in, which was cheaper. It was more expensive than the price that I paid. It was more expensive than the price that I paid for 2 nights in the hotel room. It was like $119 and something for 2 nights, and then but it was like $58 a night, $58 and something a night, and then I got a little discount off a Hopper. So I don't even know. I'm thinking that I had to just make a sudden decision that I don't even know if usually, because I'm so used to taking the Greyhound that I didn't know if it was possible that if I would have used the Hopper app, if it would have been possible that I could have taken a plane, taken a flight, take an airplane to get over here, and I don't know if it would have been cheaper or about the same price. But I wasn't even thinking. I'm just in here fight or flight mode and trying to get the hell out of here before that lady tried to get me locked up in a mental institution. I'm not even a danger or a threat. But she tried to make like, oh, that I'm crazy and something mentally wrong up here in my mind for me to just bounce and go somewhere and I don't know where I'm going. But a lot of targeted individuals have had to do that. And we know what we're doing, So when I moved to Los Angeles, the biological family, they didn't want me to come back to their house in New Orleans or come stay by them. I didn't have nowhere to go. So then the biological mom, Frances, when she was alive, she tried to make me out to look crazy and try to say, well, for you to make an all of a sudden snap decision to move to Los Angeles, well, that's pretty far-fetched. Like, well, what else was I supposed to do? Y'all didn't want me to live with y'all. You don't want me to live with y'all, but y'all want to take all my money. So the same ones who calling me crazy are the same ones who be trying to use and take advantage of me. While they Masonic and got money, nice cars, houses, and everything, and if I get the freaking Social Security check, and y'all try to take the little bit of what I have. So me having the early check-in fee, he said that there was the cost of a whole night. I checked in like probably about 7 o'clock this morning, and I had breakfast and then went up and took a shower. Now he was trying to tell me that I paid on the Hopper app, and he was trying to tell me that that the virtual credit card or debit card or something on Hopper's end, that Hopper that they didn't he was trying to tell me that they didn't pay on their end, but I paid on my end. And so he was basically trying to say that, well, try to get the situation straightened out by 1 o'clock. I'm sorry, by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, or else basically he was trying to tell me I'm going to have to leave. I'm like, but I already paid. So I hate to miss out on money behind, if Hopper, I don't know what's going on, but that happens at this particular hotel. I'm not going to say the name because of the online gang stalkers, but the in-person gang stalkers, as soon as I checked in and there was a perp that drove off with a white car with funny tail lights. And I didn't get to capture it because it caught me off guard. So it's like they had 2 gang stalking vehicles that came on this property, right around the time when that Uber driver dropped me off, and I checked in the hotel room. And so the man he charged me $80 because at first he was trying to make me wait till 3, and I'm like, I don't care, I'll pay. I'm just so exhausted. So please don't judge me. Don't judge me about wasting $80. I'm exhausted, tired, days of sleep deprived. I'm cold, and haven't been able to sleep in a bed or lay down for a long time. So first thing I did when I came here, I know I was smelling funky. I had a shower Thursday. The gang stalkers got me homeless. I'm menstruating. Yeah, I'm telling TMI because you got me homeless. And so I took a shower, and then went to sleep from, I guess, 8 o'clock to probably about 1 o'clock. 8 o'clock, about 8:15 this morning to about 1 o'clock this afternoon. And so I guess I'm not going to eat lunch, but I heard that it's not many places around here. So tomorrow I'm going to try to call up some resources. And then Tuesday, I guess at 11 o'clock on Tuesday, I got to check out this hotel room. And it'll be so fucked up if I have to be on the streets. And then I didn't bring any sleeping bags with me. I didn't bring any I didn't bring any checked baggage with me. I just had my backpack as a carry-on, and that's what I brought. The clothes on my back and my backpack. And so I didn't bring. So I don't know if I'm gonna settle here in Cincinnati. They might direct me to somewhere else in Ohio, or they might direct me to Kentucky or somewhere else. I don't know. But I'm frightened and terrified and traumatized of the shelters. And the shelter, a lot of the times the shelters, the shelters don't let you work. Or if you do, they try to manipulate that. Oh, you'll lose if you try to go and work a job, then you'll lose your bed. Even if you pay for it, you'll lose your bed. Paying for your bed doesn't even secure, another person could end up taking your bed. So if you got to work 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and shelter checking is 3 or 4, if you're not in by 3 or 4 and you get off work at 5, then you lose your bed and got to sleep outside. But it does look like this place, I'm going to miss the warm temperatures and my skin soaking up the sun. I really am. So they had some other stuff happen too. So early Friday morning when I was at that sleep spot, they had this guy on TikTok. He said he's biracial, black and Jewish, like Jewish white or whatever. And he said he's being heavily targeted. Well, he made it like as if they're trying to kill him, but he wanted to connect with me. But when I started showing proof of myself being targeted, he started to act like I'm suspicious of being a perp. And it's like like when I showed him the one headlight, and he didn't show me no one headlight videos. He just showed a few videos of other people going through something. He'd be like, "Well, this is what happened to me." Well, something like this, oh, it happened to me. But then I don't know if he was trying to play mind games and stuff like that. So he reached out to me, and then he reached out to me and then started telling me about himself being targeted. And then for me to show him proof of my targeting, he tried to make it like as if I'm suspicious of being a perp. So I'm like, you didn't see the one headlight? So I blocked him. I figured, and it's like, damn, he's sitting there making it like it's urgent for me to talk to him, and like he was about to die. Like he made it like as if he was about to die at any moment. And he's like, well, oh, you're suspicious of being a perp. I don't think you're really targeted because how come you're not being kidnapped? Well, how come you're not being kidnapped? Or how come you're not having this happen to you and that happen to you and stuff? But some people say there's different levels to us being targeted. Shucks, they're trying to sex traffic me. So I have to stay by myself because I don't trust living with nobody. I don't trust being around nobody. You being targeted, you can't trust nobody. So no, I'm up here by myself with no family, no friends. I don't know nobody here at all. Hell, everywhere I move to, everybody's a stranger. I don't know nobody. None of my family ever. I have no family connection here in Ohio. I don't think any of my family ever set foot in Ohio except me. It's my first time here, and I didn't even want to come here. So so over 2/3 of my check is gone already. Oh, where did that money go? Yeah, traveling and relocating and a couple of nights at hotel stay to get rest and clear my mind. And I had bills to pay and had a little money for food to eat. So it's like I don't know if I'm gonna end up. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. What's gonna happen Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday? I don't know. I'm scared, and my money is so low right now. So and I can see the online perps there dissecting and calculating and trying to add stuff up. They don't have the authority to do this. These the online gang stalkers. But they were on a militant mission to tell everybody, let's get Candy kicked out of Pensacola. Let's get Candy banned from Pensacola. And let's get Candy, kicked out of Florida. And even in person, people like acting like they didn't want me there. But they had a few people who were nice and cared about me and missed me and stuff. I'm not gonna say names because the online perps, I don't want them to try to ruin my reputation even further. But I'm gonna miss Pensacola dearly. I love Pensacola. I love Pensacola, and I'm gonna miss it. But fuck the people. Fuck y'all. Except a few little. I didn't even get to say my last goodbyes or hug nobody. I'm not really close with nobody. I hated to have been homeless and struggling for so many years out there. The other homeless people were able to get off the streets and get housing because they're not targeted. Now, what if they end up sabotaging me over here? So, if they try to give you the runaround or hinder you and stuff like that, and they love to keep targeting individuals on the move and displaced. They ran me out my own hometown, New Orleans. Can't go back. Plus, they say it's too crime ridden. So, I think that Cleveland, Ohio, is like dangerous or something. I don't know, but Cincinnati, I'm not quite sure. But I didn't even want to come here, but I guess I was just. I mean, I hate the cold. I hate the cold, and I don't know why people always think that somebody gotta watch and monitor me, and that's why I need to be with somebody or I can't be by myself. When I prefer to be alone. I need to be alone. So I'm really, really scared, really frightened. And so with the I had just gave the Google AdSense my address in Pensacola, and so now, well, right now I don't have an address, and I would hate to put up with going to a homeless day drop-in center or shelter, and then them playing with my mail and lying to me, saying I don't have mail and stuff like that. It's frustrating. So I hope there's a way I can get a job in housing or something as soon as possible. As soon as possible. This ain't the place to be homeless on the streets out in the cold. So I can't go back to Los Angeles, LA metro area. People saying stay out of California. Some people say stay out of Florida. But I love Florida. I love my hometown, New Orleans. I couldn't be in Mobile, Alabama. And I don't know how they are towards if you're homeless on the streets in Cincinnati. I don't know how it is, how they treat the homeless. If they'll criminalize you being homeless, I don't know. But I had to leave like an emergency situation, you know. I think that bus driver was trying to capture me, and she's a ghetto narcissistic, ghetto abusive narcissistic perp that try to play low class and ignorant. So I ran out of one of my supplements, and I'm almost running out of another, and I'm also running out of my coconut oil. Yeah, so I'm really scared and frightened. But I'm too sleep deprived today to I need to recuperate and rest. I showed y'all the video of how excuse me, how swollen my legs are and everything. So yeah, I'm really scared of the future or the immediate future. So I don't know if I would get to stay here past tomorrow at this hotel, because like I better stay here by Tuesday until Tuesday, because I paid for it. I paid for it. But then the they're saying that, this is the only hotel that does this. Like, it was at a hotel in Pensacola. I'm not going to mention the name. It's the same company as this one, the same name as this one, but I'm not going to say the name. But they gave me a hard time, and I got into an argument with them because I paid direct through the hotel chain, and they try to have on record that I didn't pay and try to charge me double. And I had a big showdown, big heated argument, and then later on they said that they saw the payment go through. and they let me in a hotel room. I put their asses on film and everything. So and they gang stalked me super heavy that day. So well, I hate to be in a shelter and broke, or if they charge money and you can't eat what you want, you can't go to bed when you want, you can't come and leave when you want, um, you know. So I need to do, with the little bit of clothes that I have, I need to do laundry. I'm probably gonna do it tomorrow. I'm just resting and recuperating today. Trying to recuperate today, and just resting today. And on my ride, I didn't even write any short stories or anything. I thought about it, but I didn't. I didn't even get to listen to the Bible or nothing. So it seemed like I had to just start fresh somewhere else. But I feel angry because I really wanted to stay in the Gulf Coast area. I really want to stay in the Gulf Coast area. That's where I wanted to stay, to be living at. But narcissistic abusers coercively controlling your life and won't allow you to live the way you want to live. So, I thought I was gonna end up needing to take 2 whole hours to talk, but so I mean, on online, I saw they had some people who had a few opportunities where you can stay by them and then have a work, do some work around the house in exchange for rent. But um me having OCD, I know they're not gonna like, my me spraying everything with alcohol, or they're probably gonna force me to have that thing. I can't say the word on here. um so my anxiety is really high right now, and I'm pissed and angry because I'm gonna miss warm weather, nice weather with the sun beaming on. I'm gonna miss 85 and 90-degree weather. I know it's winter right now, but I'm talking about for summer. I'm gonna miss beach, but I would enjoy lakes to swim in, lakes and swimming holes. I like stuff natural, stuff like that too, you know. So I'm scared, but I'm gonna be all. I think I'm gonna be all right. So I have my information in the description box of almost all of my videos, and that YouTube is back to trying to get me to verify my identity and all that. So they sent the pin to the Waterfront Mission address. That's the only address I had, and then like Friday morning, I was not sure if I was gonna follow through with moving out of state, like leaving out of state again. So as of Thursday morning, I had no plan to move out of state. None. My plan was to try to stay in an extended stay hotel in Pensacola for about a week. And a week or 10 days. Well, my phone tried to fall. It was like a week or 10 days that I was trying to plan to stay, in an extended stay. And then I probably would have ended up suffering back on the streets or having to keep asking for help. So whatever y'all can donate or help me out or spare, I don't know how they are with being strict on first and last month's rent for trying to get an apartment or a place to live. You know, but I'll say it seems like about 2/3 of my check, my Social Security check, is spent up already. And I already explained to y'all, and all the abusive narcissistic perps wanting to try to think I owe it to them to account for every penny. It's not their business. I'm a grown adult. I'm not a child. It's not their business at all. Just like that bus driver is not her fucking business. Especially, you don't, if you want to control and abuse and bully people and then call it caring about you. And so, I hope to never have to encounter that abusive, narcissistic, nosy Uber driver. I hope to not have to. I mean, she was trying to ask me for information, like trying to get all of my business. I'm like, what would this profit you if I'm just riding in the car with you for, I don't know you, and I'm just riding in the car with you for one time. I don't know if I ever in my life. Why do you need to know all this about me? She might have been a perp agent too. But I mean, trying to get all that information out of me, asking me nosy questions. But I'm like, of course, if you don't tell them, if you do tell them about your targeting, they'll think you're crazy. But if you don't tell them about your targeting, they'll make it like, well, your homeless situation and your predicament, you're the problem, or you burned your bridges from family, or because like when she tried to be like, oh, well, how did you end up homeless? And I'm like, well, it's a long story. And she tried to pry into my personal business, asking me all these questions within a question, nosy questions, and then she even went as far as to say, you didn't kill anybody, did you? I'm like, no. What make you think I would kill someone? Why would you ask? Oh, because I'm homeless, and say, well, I'm scared to, say what's going on. If she said, oh, well, you didn't kill anybody, did you? Stuff like that. Oh, well, she was asking me like, well, where are your parents? Oh, where do you come from? Where were you living before? Or, where were you born and raised originally? Or, oh, how come your family don't want to talk to you? They don't want you around them, whatever. Just question. Oh, how old are you? Oh, well, so I don't know. I mean, she made me feel uncomfortable with all those nosy questions, and she made me afraid that with her trying to pry into my business, that she was going to try to make it like as if I'm crazy and trying to set me up to be locked up in a mental institution. So, like, so I hate to have had to been forced, over here, and I don't know how quiet it is in this city overall. I kind of really don't want to go to Kentucky, but I guess I'm so pissed at that fake lady that called herself Kentucky Patriot. I guess that made me not want to set foot in. I passed through Louisville, Kentucky, but made me not want to live in Kentucky because of her. But but I don't know. But that lady told the Uber driver. She told me that as far as being cheap and expensive, that Cincinnati and Kentucky are basically what and what. And she said something about there's a bridge where you can walk to Kentucky from downtown Cincinnati or something like that. So I don't know. But in the meantime, I'm trying to get donations and help until I can get something figured out or try to get back on my feet or whatever. Trying to get help with food, transportation, and but as I said, I came here with no clue of anything, and I didn't realize that when I got off I didn't know of any hotels near where I got off the bus, so I took an Uber to another side of town. But it was the hotels were cheaper, um, you know, over here, but it costs like a lot of money to get over. But it's Sunday. I didn't know the buses run on Sunday. I'm brand new here. I made a mistake. I'm sorry. So once I get familiar with the buses and I can better navigate. So the online gang stalker Starbricker, I saw her. She lied on me and said that I illegally and fraudulently obtained a disabled bus pass. She's like, Candy didn't even have a doctor's note. You didn't need a doctor's note. All you needed to show was your Social Security award letter. That's how you get a disabled fare. So, um, maybe here I might. I mean, I really would hate to be here, because I'm being miserable in the cold. I hate cold weather. I fucking hate snow. I fucking hate snow. I really hate snow. But I mean, I don't. Snow looks pretty on pictures, but I hate living through snow. So with my hypersensitivity and my disability, I can't be around noise. So that would hinder me with job opportunities. And my knees, I had not been able to stretch my knees, so my knees have been hurting. So this is my first time getting to stretch out and lay down. Um, I don't remember when the last time I was in a hotel in Pensacola. Oh yeah, last weekend, not this weekend. And then I got out the hotel room. I think it was Monday. And then I had been on the streets Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and Thursday night. And then Friday, Saturday night, the Greyhound bus. And so now here's Sunday, and I was just exhausted. I mean, I had not been able to get that much sleep or to stretch out and lay down or nothing. And I'm feeling dehydrated, and I haven't been having healthy stuff to eat. So I heard they have a couple of places around here, but not many. So I think I'm just probably gonna eat a slightly early dinner. Um, I'm really scared and nervous because don't know what to expect. But I've been through this before. So as I keep saying that, you can't really settle anywhere being targeted. So I'm sitting here wondering, well, I guess I end up having to pay on a storage unit way in Pensacola and try to not accumulate that much here in Cincinnati unless I get a permanent place. And if I do, um, I would need help with the way to figure out how to transport all my belongings in the storage unit all the way over here. And I know that's very expensive. It's not cheap. But I need to try to figure something out. It looked like they have a couple of opportunities, but I mean, for me to wait on an abusive narcissistic manager, wait on them to make the decision to hire me when narcs don't love to. They don't like to give you a chance. They don't want you. They refuse to give you a house and they refuse to give you a job if they got the power and authority to do so. You know, um, so I've been, you know, eating trash on this whole trip. So I can't wait to get something nutritious or healthy or something. Um, and certain things I couldn't say in detail because of the online perps. So I figured if the in-person perps, if they knew I'm in fucking Cincinnati, following me around and gang stalking me, um, how the hell? I mean, I'm pretty sure it won't be long. It wouldn't be long for the online perps before they figure out something. So, so yeah, I mean, for me to just be run off from everywhere, So, I think that's all I have to say for now, and I have the donation information in the description box of this video. If y'all can, try to help me out in whatever way y'all could. So I don't know if they might give me the idea to go somewhere else, or if they might have me settle in Cincinnati, and I don't know. So tomorrow I'm gonna call up some resources, and I need to clear my head and try to figure things out. And I need prayers, and I need to try to. I mean, I'm frustrated and feeling bitter already about being forced to leave Pensacola. You abusive narcissistic perps got your freaking wish. So I'm gonna go for now. Thanks in advance for any and all help, and please spread the word to get me as much help as possible.